This is Annie, where you going? This is Richard back at you. Annie's gonna go hang out outside. It's beautiful here today. We got Anthony's 95 Dodge in the house, all the way from Missouri, guys. Missouri, can you believe that? These guys got some faith in me, let me tell you. It's a 5.9 Dodge diesel, 4-wheel drive. Real nice looking truck. You can see here we've already got the converter turned purple where the clutch runs. I mean, just totally cooked the converter. Mileage on this vehicle, it's not written on the paperwork, but I'm sure it's in the probably 100,000 or something like that, I'm sure. But this guy really takes really nice care of his truck. So now this is just a stock torque converter. The old hub's been pretty hot there. You see the gears really good inside in depth wise, really in the center. Looks really good. Fluid looks really good for the clutch to be as purple. The back of the converter is for sure. Now this does have a TV cable, just like your 700 does, 4L60, but this is a 518 early style 3-wire. This actually has a governor inside the tail housing. It does not have a governor pressure sensor or solenoid.
You don't think you need to holler at Miss Annie?
There she is. Where are you going? She's out roaming around the cores, making sure nobody's getting in them. But if you look here, even on the early design models, we still get fluid in the connector. It's plumb full of fluid. Now we have a power wire going in here, and we have 2 ground circuit wires going in here, one for overdrive and one for lockup. So you can still see shorting going on in there like that too. So now we're going to get back here to our, there's a great big old bearing back in here that centers everything in the back for your overdrive stuff. There she goes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn it over, get to our bolts that take our overdrive section off. Get to the socket, I forgot. Actually, I got the privilege of pulling this one out. I've got the privilege of building it and putting it back in probably. Maybe. Maybe. So we got our 4L60E over there to do next. We got our cutaway tranny there that we got last week that we can't wait to clean it up and look at it. Everybody that comes in drools over it, wishing they had it. Really nice piece. There we go. That one there didn't want to come out. Now we build these units here, we build the 3-speed part, we build the overdrive section, then we put it together, check our clearances and stuff like that before we put our valve body on or anything like that. There's a lot that goes into these right here, guys, let me tell you. Normally you can just pry these off, normally. Miss Teresa.
You ain't got all your tools.
No, I was R&R'ing out there. Remember, I took this thing apart. Okay, get this off there. Get my other screwdriver. Excuse me there. It gets hung up on the park stuff in here, and that's why I'm having issues here. Come on, guys. Okay. Put that torque converter down there. Okay, we have our overdrive section here. This little retainer wire, the only reason it's in the tranny is for assembly, basically just to hold your overdrive clutches and stuff in. You can see your overdrive clutches, which pretty much used up, starting to get pretty burnt. Now we have our overdrive apply piston here that also releases the direct clutch. You have a selective spacer here. You also have a selective shim here. They make these in blue, red, yellow, clear, different color coating on these things, painted wise. And then you have your bearing here. So this bearing has a load on it the whole time going down the highway. When it goes into overdrive, it pushes that 800-pound spring off down in here. It's amazing that that bearing can handle that much load all the time. Got them both. And we have a wavy snap ring here. We have a flat snap ring here. The flat does go in first. When you stick it in, these housings here are a little bit different. So let me actually show you. Here's your later version housing right here, and this here's an early design. Now both of these are four-wheel drives, just totally different year models. 47, 48, early style. But I was going to say, just on these snap rings, when you put them in, make sure you don't put the opening in a groove. Put them under the tab here. Put them under here. Don't put them in an opening like that. And then make sure when you put them together, turn them. Keep them away from each other, the openings. You got a really tiny lip overdrive seal here and here. The new one in your overhaul kit will be a little bit thicker, a little bit longer lip, I could say. Now there's going to be actually, these tubes here are your governor tubes. This doesn't have a governor pressure sensor, governor pressure cylinder, or anything like that. It physically has a governor assembly right here on the shafts. Now diesel is different than a gas. Being that it has to shift out really early at low RPM. So we have a real heavy governor in here. That thing probably weighs a pound, that brass slug in this governor right here, where a gas one is aluminum, real lightweight. And then you see the weights they have to put on the end of here to compromise for the weight on that brass slug in here. Because I mean, that slug's that big around, it's real heavy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now you get down in here too, we really never had the snap ring wear issues as much as like you see in these housings here, but you do see it. Let me see if I can get this snap ring out here. Come on. Got my flashlight. There we go. So you can see there's any wear on that snap ring. Or on that groove right there, excuse me. Where if you look at this early design or later design, you can see how much wears on that snap ring groove right there. You see that notch hanging to the right side. So, but we got retainers, update kits now we can put in here and save some of these cases now, so that makes it a lot nicer. And you have your overdrive direct clutch in here, your overdrive planetary, your 800-pound spring and all that nice stuff in there. Move it aside and I'll take it apart real quick for you in a second. We're going to go ahead and go to the 3-speed part of it. Now we've got our 3/8 bolts here. These are always gold in color. And like I said, this here is selective. You start playing with your clearances and stuff. There's a lot of ways to change this tranny around, guys. Now on this one here too, we have quick disconnect fittings. Instead of your line screwing in, they quick disconnect. Actually, let me open this new one here. Now what I like about these here is the new one has a metal retainer inside this housing. Well, the old version, it's on the line, but it's a plastic. Real terrible design. This is the new design that will not pop out with a metal retainer in it. So I always want to do all the updates we can to these things. Now the customer did bring a lot of cool stuff with him. Transgo kit, 6-pinion planets. We're putting a Sonex, guys, Sonex. Input shaft. We're going to be putting a bunch of Sonex. This is your accumulator dual ring servo here, or accumulator here. He brought the Sonex wide band struts. Now we are updating this to the 6-pinion rear planets with the wide washers, the new ring gear. Now we got a rear case support. I mean, we're putting a lot of stuff in here. Sun gears, clutches, bands, Transgo kit. We're putting the new Sonex manual valve, the Sonex boost valve. Everything. We Sonex these to death. Transgo them to death too, so we know what works. But you can put all this good stuff in there if you don't have somebody putting it together right. None of that good stuff matters. So that's why I'm here. Put them good parts in, that way it matters. We have our band strut here. Actually, your band adjustment pin and nut here. Now this is your 3-tab neutral safety switch. The later versions had a black one. Some of them have a plastic cover over them where you can't see them. Always replace that too because they always leak. Now we don't have a ring on the stator. This is an early style. Got the old stock looking pan here. Now what's good about this is this is a lockup unit, where they did make a non-lockup unit. So when we get in the pan, I mean this pan is just full of metal. Ain't nothing in here but metal. Magnets twice the size as it should be. So we'll have a lot of wear down in here. Probably going to be in the rear planetary section where we have aluminum planets and stuff like that. So plus we have a cook converter. We have a plugged up filter. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. But like I said, we don't have no governor pressure sensor and solenoid here. This is an early design. Filter is done with. Let me wipe off my gloves real quick. I want to talk about something real quick here. I'm going to give ATS a shout out real quick. Guys, ATS makes the best pans in the world. No doubt in my mind. I've looked at them, studied them all the way through. If you got a Dodge Diesel, Chevrolet, Ford, it doesn't matter. Get you a deep ATS pan. I mean, these guys don't mess around on the designs, the stability of them, how much better they make your case stronger, just everything about it. A really nice unit. Comes with all the bolts, the filter extension, all that type of stuff. I mean, we order, how many a week, Teresa?
Oh my God.
We order a lot of these a week because it just keeps, a Dodge is a dirty running tranny to start with. And it just keeps all the trash at the bottom of the pan, keeps it away from the filter. Filters last twice as long, everything about it. So ATS, thumbs up, guys. Now also this is a lockup solenoid, an overdrive solenoid. This is just a 3-wire system. You have a power and 2 grounds. Computer sends grounds down here and makes the tranny work. Get this stuff apart here. Now, like I said, we're going to be putting a Transgo kit in this. Transgo makes a special kit just for this unit. One for your 47s, your 48s, all that type of stuff. So you don't want to mix them up. They're really explanatory in the instructions to identify your valve body to make sure you have the right kit for your valve body. They did a really good job on that. So let's see. We'll slide this down. Tear this apart real quick. Or take this apart. How's that sound? Now we'll have, this is your overdrive accumulator right here. Now I can't say if anybody's ever been in this before, but this should not have short screws in it. Now the earlier designs could have put short screws in there, but we will be putting long screws back in here because this is known to blow this off here. And short screws do not belong there. Now there's another place a short screw doesn't belong to, and I'll show you. Oop, did I splash you, Teresa?
No, you're lucky.
I almost did, huh? Okay, we'll get this off here. Now all of these bolts here are going to be the same length. Now we have one bolt right here. It could be the same length or it could be longer. Excuse me, it could be the same length or it could be shorter. So just depending, if you get a short one left over, it goes right there. Now this is your overdrive and your lockup setup here. Now this year model here will not have a check ball here. There's no trough for it. There's no holes in the plate for it. Your shift kit, we'll talk about that. Same way here. Your shift kit's going to come with a different plate. It's going to have you modify a few holes. Always on your shift kit plates too, get some Scotch-Brite. This plate's pressed and made towards this direction. So it leaves some, you can feel it where it stood up. Take some Scotch-Brite this down, get this where it's smooth, where it feels just like this side. And then put your new plate on there. Always flat file your aluminum surfaces and stuff like that. Now these will all be short screws here. Your kit will come with a cone filter. You can use either one of them. Now we notice here we have 2 plastic balls here. Some will come with metal. If you have plastics, put them back. A lot of times your plate will be damaged here because of the metal ball, or it will be here because of the forward check ball. So that's pretty much why they put a plate in there, because they do have plate wear problems. And then we have all of our check balls here. Now this one here is bigger. Your shift kit will be replacing this one. Hang on to this one, because if you have a metal check ball here, you can put it there. Okay, now we're going to look and see what switching valve we have in here. Now we're going to have a short screw here, but this one right here better be a long one. If it's not, you better put one there. My last valve body and video I showed you guys, they put a short one in there and it pulled out the threads. And you see here we have another short one.
Yeah, we found it in the pan stuck to the
Yep.
magnet.
Yep. Because there's so much pressure trying to push this off, because this is your pressure regulator valve, this is your switching valve. Once we bump the pressure up, you put a stronger spring here. So you got a lot of things trying to push this out of here. So that's why you always put a long bolt here. Now they make a 3-land and a 4-land switching valve. You always want to verify what you have. Now we have a 4-land, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to modify it like the kit shows you how to modify it real quick. And I'll show you. Put my glasses on. This is a real easy step to do. Just be really careful when you get it on the grinder that you don't cut into this valve, because it's real easy to cut into there. But that's what it'll look like when you get done. Now, we're going to be replacing this valve here with a full-time lube pressure valve. Now this is your Sonex valve here that we're going to be replacing it with. Now this has got a full-time lube valve. It pumps in park and neutral. So this is a very big upgrade. And also on your Sonex manual valve, when you put these two in as a kit, you've really accomplished something. So always put these two in as a kit. If you have a hole, if somebody came in here and drilled a hole through here, you want to plug that with some type of pin, cotter key. You could take some type of putty, Loctite, something, and fill it in on both sides. Scuff it up that way it bonds good, and plug that hole. If not, if you leave that hole in there, you could have a converter drain back really bad. Park the vehicle outside, come back, and it won't move. Sometimes within an hour, you can have these type of issues. So if you put these Sonex valves in there, you eliminated all that problem. So, excuse me. Very interesting. Now, what I like about this unit here, even though it's an early style, it's got the big band instead of the old single wrap band. You can see here, great big old reverse band. Dodge was really smart when they got away from that small band. Now we do have a single ring accumulator here. Now, like I said, this gentleman, he went out and bought another Sonex product, brought it to us with it. It's a heavy duty dual ring accumulator kit. So that's going to be a really nice upgrade too. And also, he brought another Sonex upgrade. Now here's this, oops, oh, I broke him, darn it. But anyway, this is the new upgraded lever he brought. This is the new strut. Look how much bigger the strut is. And this here's the new anchor too. So some pretty nice stuff, definitely. Definitely. Hey, it's all neat stuff when you enjoy doing what you're doing. Kind of like a kid in a candy store. Not my parts, but it's not my presents, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Hope y'all are enjoying the air today.
We're supposed to have egg-sized hail.
Oh, hail tonight, yes. We've been having some storms come through here pretty crazy. Everybody's hiding their vehicles all under the bridges and stuff like that. Let's grab another socket. Now you want to get in here and, like I say, your bushing kit will come with a new bushing for your stator. We talk about converter drain back a lot. The Dodges have it really bad. When they you turn the key off, you come back in a day or 2 days, you put in gear, it won't move. To eliminate these problems is Sonex made valves, the 2 valves I showed you earlier, to eliminate that problem. But if you put a weak pump, a weak stator bushing, stuff like that in there, that fluid can run right back by that stuff too and drop right back in the pan, and then you have the same type of issue. So just make sure you replace all your bushings in your tranny. A big plus. I don't know if this one's been into, we'll have to see here shortly. You want to look at your stator? Still looks really nice. Got some bluing gone, but still looks really nice. Look in here for your lockup rings down through here, your forward ring where it runs here. You always want to buff these around these bolts, guys. If somebody's coming here, now if you look, this bolt here has been chamfered. Chamfered. Let me kind of pour it out. We can see. Make it a little easier. Because if you over tighten your pump stator, you can cause a major problem. Because you see how that bolt hole's been chamfered? This one here hasn't. This one here hasn't. That one has. That one barely has. But these ones that haven't been, if you tighten that bolt too tight, you made a lip right here that raised that up. And now when you tighten it down, you have it's not seated flush. So we always buff that off right there. That's a major problem that we see. If you have a comeback, burning, your trannies burn up, and you can't figure out why, it's because you could be having cross leaks through here. But just because it's pulled them threads out. Look at your dimple bushing. Looks good all the way around. See a little bit of tight spot there, been rubbing, but looks really good. Now you can kind of see, here's a good example on pump gear wear on these things. You don't see the outer edge wear or the thickness wear. You're going to see it right here where the gear locks on. You see that spot right there? There's really hard imprint on it, and there'll be another one on this side here too. You see that there?
Yep.
And they're just wore plumb out. So that whole thing's really cocking hard on that converter hub. So. And we just have a stock band in here. Like I said, we're going to upgrade the second gear band. And of course we just have a, what do we got here? A little 4-clutch high gear. But we can't have that. So we can get one more in here. So we can get at least 5 in this drum here for him. So that'd be a good upgrade there for him. We'll look here for any bushing wear, any seal wear. Looks really good. Scotch-Brite this up right through here where your new sealing rings are going to run. Now the shift kit will come with high pressure rings that we're going to be using. This washer here is selective too when you set your clearances up. This sealing ring right here will be a high pressure green ring that's in your Transgo kit. Your rings here that we find, we have a metal one here at the top. Now, then we have a Teflon one here. Now your kit will come with 2 Teflon ones. Now why they did that, they could have tried to eliminate converter drain back. There's no telling why they put a metal ring right there, but like I say, these trannies had problems with converter drain back, and Dodge knew it, and they were trying to correct it, but they put check valves in the cooler lines. They did all kinds of crazy stuff to. You know what's crazy is Dodge knew they had this problem all this time and never fixed it, and here you got Sonex fix it right off the bat. Nah, I'll stay quiet there. But it's funny how somebody sees a problem and can fix it. Dodge knows they have a problem and never fixes it, and here you have a company that comes out and repairs it. So, and we have our forward clutches here. Now this is an early design. It's got the wide forward teeth. It'll have the wide grooves in the ring gear here for the forward clutch. Now also we are going back with a Sonex billet shaft. I'm telling you, these are really nice shafts, guys. This is the only one we'll use. Just really nice. Now here we have a stainless washer here, and then we have a 3-tab selective washer. They make 3 different thicknesses of this, guys. So you can move this tranny all over the place. You know, I got this squeegee from somebody through the mail. And it's been with us for a long time, huh?
Not a year.
And the oil hasn't
6
affected it,
months.
hasn't changed it. Got a little silicone on it.
Yep.
Hasn't swelled up. I mean, it hasn't done nothing but do its job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're going to get in here and we're going to do a lot of updates in here. Now, this washer right here is selective, guys. A lot of people didn't know that, but that washer right there is selective. Or snap ring, excuse me, is selective. Now we do have a 5-pinion aluminum front planet. You don't see that much in a diesel because it'll just strip the probably are trying to strip it out. There it goes. So we have a 5-pinion aluminum right here. Now we're going to be going back with a 6-pinion steel. Kind of get an idea. Oh, where's that? Where's it at? Oh, I mislaid it somewhere. Anyway, I'll have to find it. But anyway, we're going back with a 6-pinion steel here. And then we'll be going back in here. We'll be getting rid of the 4-pinion planet. Now you can see what they did is they put a metal plate in here that the planet runs on, and the planet physically is the washer itself. You see once metal gets in here, it just starts grinding it up. But this sets in there, this runs on to that. Instead of that, we're going to be using these big washers like that, setting it down in here on like that, and then we'll set a new tab like that. See? That way we can get rid of all this aluminum stuff out of here. A lot gonna go on in this thing, let me tell you. Thought that was melted there for a minute. It wasn't. Now this washer here will be a brass washer when we go back together with it. Now you can see here, let me get the band out of here first. Your big old reverse band. Get our sprag assembly out. And then we're going to get our case support out right here. Just remember, when you push this band anchor pin out right here, guys, don't slide your finger down this edge right here. This edge right here on both sides is sharper than a razor blade. So just kind of barely tap it and let it slide out. And don't run your fingers down these edges because it will get you.
By experience.
By experience. Now you can see here on this support, once metal gets in here, anything that comes out of your converter goes right through your cooling system, and then comes back in your rear cooler line right straight into here. This hole right here. Your cooler line comes right into here, and then it dissipates the fluid all the way through the tranny. So this piece right here is going to be hit with all kinds of metal and trash right off the bat, and that's why we see all this wear in here. And of course, it grinds all this up here. Now the new one we got is right here. Now what I like about this, it comes with a rubber ring that keeps the pressure and puts a lot of volume of oil in here. We'll actually drill this feed hole just a little bit bigger, just to put a little bit more volume of oil in here. Oh.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All nice and shiny.
Yep. Now this is your reverse band servo here. Now he did bring me a Sonex intermediate servo kit too. That goes in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in with all the other modifications that we're going to be doing. We don't want a diesel tranny shifting hard. We just want to shorten the shifts. So now this is, since it's a double wrap band, you do have the small servo that applies it. If it was a single wrap, the servo would be twice that big. Let's see if I can get this. Come on. Uh-oh, Trish, you better run. There we go. You did good. I say he did bring an intermediate servo kit too, but I'm going to study up on it, call Sonex and talk to him about it a little bit before I put it in. That way I know what's going to be going on when I put it in, because I don't want to put my unit all the way together and now we got too firm of a second gear or something I'm not used to and don't like. So, not too bad. Don't need a lot of hard parts or anything, but it's going to be a very interesting build. Going to take a few hours. Once you change planetaries and start changing a lot of that stuff up, you got a lot of clearances and stuff to be setting. So, y'all don't forget to subscribe, push the like button, all that type of stuff. Teresa, thank you again for the video, and Trent's out there working and he's hanging out. Y'all come on, hang out with us again. Y'all have a great day.